If you want to play games on one screen and have Discord on the other, or if you just want to run different programs on different screens, this is how you connect a second monitor on Windows 10 and Windows 11. For laptops, there are two main connections, HDMI and USB-C. HDMI is the most straightforward. Take the cable and one end goes into the laptop while the other goes into the monitor. It doesn't matter which end goes where, as long as it's properly inserted. If the monitor has multiple HDMI ports, it also doesn't matter which ports you use. The other way of connecting is through USB-C. You can tell if your laptop supports it by this lightning symbol. Now some monitors also support USB-C, but mine didn't, so I needed an adapter. This is a USB-C to HDMI adapter, and it's been working pretty well. I've linked a few in the description below. If everything lights up, then you're ready to go onto software. The first thing you see is the mirrored displays. Here, when I move the window on one screen, it's mirrored on the other. To fix this, right-click the desktop and hit Display Settings. It'll open up a new window. Click on Duplicate these displays, and then click on Extend these displays. Windows 10 is the same process, you just have to scroll down a bit. Now, depending on your setup, the displays might not be aligned properly. In my case, I can't move the file browser between the two screens. And if I move it to the other side, then I get some weird results. And the reason for this is because when I hit Identify, it shows that the monitor 2 is on the left and monitor 1 is on the right. But this is reversed in the settings. To fix this, click and drag one of the screens and move it to the other side. Hit Apply, and now I'm able to move the file browser between the two screens. Now that was a really fast tutorial to get you started. So I want to spend a bit more time to go over a few settings that can help improve your overall experience. The first setting is selecting which monitor to open programs on by default. This is especially useful when you want to open full screen programs. To do this, click on your main monitor and then make this my main display. For Windows 10, this option is found if you scroll down a bit. Now when I launch games, they'll start on the correct screen. The next setting is changing the resolution. Properly setting this will give you the sharpest image for your display. Normally, I just scroll to whatever is recommended, but it's always good to double check the setting so that it matches your monitor's resolution. So you might be wondering what happens if you use different monitors with different resolutions. Well, don't worry, everything will still work, but the alignment will be a bit off. For example, if you wanted to align both monitors to the top edge, there is some overhang from the monitor with a higher resolution. The mouse will get stuck here when traveling along the overhang. It's not really a big deal, and you get used to it pretty quickly. Sometimes on high-density displays like 4K, the text becomes too small. Here you want to use window scaling to increase both the text size and the window size. The recommended option is a good place to start, and adjust to whatever feels comfortable to you. This only affects windowed programs and doesn't affect full-screen ones. You can adjust each display separately and use different scaling for different monitors. Next, the option is display orientation. This can be extremely useful for coding, Reddit, or TikTok. First, you'll need to physically rotate the monitor so that it's vertical. Now some monitor stands don't have this option, so then you'll need to get a monitor arm. There's plenty to choose from, but the one from Amazon Basics has a lot of good reviews. Before you buy though, just double check that you have mounting holes in the back of your monitor. After it's rotated, we have to change it in the software to match. This option is found under Display Orientation. Select it and you're done. The one main downside that I found is that full screen programs will have black bars up at the top and bottom of the screen. The next setting is refresh rate. With modern gaming monitors, a lot of them have high refresh rates, like 144Hz, 165Hz, and so on. To make the most out of it, you want to change the refresh rate to match the monitor. Go under Advanced Display and change it to the appropriate refresh rate. Sometimes you don't see the option for a higher refresh rate, and that's most likely because the laptop doesn't support it, or because the adapters just don't support it either. Unfortunately, because this is a hardware issue, you'll either have to get a different adapter or a better laptop. The next setting is brightness. For laptops, this is done through keyboard shortcuts. Different manufacturers position them differently, but you're looking for the one with the sunshine. For monitors, it's slightly different, and it's done through the on-screen menu. Your menu might look different, but it will have similar settings. Personally, to find the best brightness, I use a piece of paper and try to match the monitor brightness to ambient. Eyeballing this is fine because ambient brightness during the day is different compared to ambient brightness at night. Next, I want to talk about a few miscellaneous things. A lot of people experience audio disappearing when they first connect to the monitor. And that's because sound settings change to the monitor as the output. To change it back, you want to left-click the sound icon in the taskbar. Then click on the arrow for the overflow options. Here, you will be given several options to select the output for your sound. To make the audio go through laptop speakers, just select speakers. Another common question is how to use the monitor when the laptop lid is closed. Here you want to go Start, and then type in lid, L-I-D. Click on Change what closing the lid does to open up a new window. Here, there's an option that says Do Nothing. Select it, save, and now your monitor should work with the laptop lid closed. If you want to connect 2 or more monitors, then your laptop will require 2 Thunderbolt ports, or a combination of HDMI and Thunderbolt ports. This is unique to each laptop, and so you have to look up the specifications. Now, one of the common questions is which is better, HDMI or USB-C? And the short answer is that it doesn't really matter as long as it works, but the long answer is that it really depends. USB-C is good if you can pair it with a high-quality adapter. This is because USB-C supports 4K 60Hz right out of the box, which is good enough for modern monitors. The downside is that these adapters can get pretty expensive. HDMI is a bit more complicated because there's several different versions. What's more, different versions have different specifications, which makes everything super confusing. If you do want to use HDMI, just make sure the HDMI version supports the monitor's resolution and refresh rate. So that was a really fast rundown for connecting a second monitor on Windows 10 and Windows 11. I also gone through some options to make your experience slightly better. It's not really intuitive, and it's one of those things where you do once and you forget about it. And if you want to see a cool accessory for monitors, check out this video I've made about monitor lights. Alright, thanks for watching, like and subscribe.